Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am Becky, I'm a good enough girl, and I'm coming to you this week to give you some tips for going to any fiber event, whether you're a knitter, a crocheter, needlework, embroiderist, sewist. Here's some tips to get you prepared and to the event in a happy, healthy, and wonderful way so you can come back with amazing memories. All right, so you can use this. I'm using this primarily to get ready for flock because flock is this weekend and I want to make sure that I know what I'm looking for. I have all the supplies that I need and I take care of myself so that I'm not thirsty, hangry, or physically not well because I wore the wrong shoes or I wore something that was too cold or too hot or whatever. So I made this for me and I'm hoping it'll help you as you get ready for your flock experience or whatever it is that you're going to be going to. I'm West Coast, so my biggie is flock. All right, so let's prepare. The first thing I want to give you, this video is going to be in two parts. So the first part is basic general tips on what to do at a fiber or other kind of festival. This can be used for a whole lot of events, whether it's you're in the fiber community or just going to a big event. So that's the first part. The second part of the video will be Flock 2026 exclusive. So if it is after Flock 2026, you might want to just skip this unless you're getting ready for 27 and you want to see what happened last year so you can be ready to look for what you might want to see this year. All right, so two parts. First thing, you gotta get ready for flock. So before you even go, I have a list of what you should be doing. And I'm gonna show you right now. This is my list of what you should be doing, what to bring. And this right here is the exclusive I've been able to uncover so far. There's about 5 days left, 4 days left when I'm recording this. And so I'm sure this list of exclusive is gonna grow and build. So buckle up, let's get ready to flock. Okay, before you even go, even right now, it is still not too late to buy your tickets. So always buy your tickets in advance, unless you're concerned that there might be a reason that you're not gonna go. They tend to be relatively affordable. They're about $25 for 2-day tickets. And you have to determine, do I wanna go for 2 days, 1 day, which day? Am I taking classes, am I not taking classes? And obviously classes opened up months ago, so those are all full right now. But if you're getting ready for next year's flock, pay attention around April. That's when they start putting the class list out. All right, so before you go, buy your tickets. So the difference between Saturday and Sunday, Saturday is a bit more chaotic. A bulk of the people will go just for Saturday. That's when they feel like all the exclusives will still be there. Everybody's gonna have more inventory available. And so they focus on Saturday. And you can tell, so it's pretty busy, it's pretty chaotic. But if you like that vibe, it's really fun. So I love Saturdays at events. Specific to flock is you need to be prepared to mask up. So from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturday is masks required so that people who are immunocompromised or have someone in their family that is, they can shop safely and do their best to keep themselves and other people healthy. So do be prepared for that. Sunday, on the other hand, is a much calmer event. So people have kind of gone through the frenzy of looking for the first things that I have to have right now. And now it's kind of sit back, take a look, enjoy the stroll, and really kind of just, it's the chill day. So decide which one you want. Do you want chill? Do you want chaos? Or do you like both? So I go both because I do love powering through that first day. I mean, that first day, I am wiped out by the end of the day. But I had so much fun, so it was totally worth it. And then Sunday, I kind of stroll in when I feel like getting up and getting out there and just wander around, see the things that I had thought I missed yesterday, anything that I wanted to catch up on. They also have some events and things that go on both days, so it's nice to kind of pick up on those, and I'll talk a little bit more about the special activities and things that you can do at Flock that are not just shopping. All right, so buy your tickets, plan your shopping route. So I'm gonna give you some exclusives, and there's probably about 20 on my list, and I'm sure there's gonna be more based on the flock. Sorry, I have a furrier hair or something. Got it, sorry. So plan your route. So know what you want from an exclusives perspective. And there is a vendor map. I'll put the link below. So there's a vendor map. Figure out where you want to start. Do you want to start way to the left? So when you walk in way to the left, that's where booth number 1 starts. And then you can wind your way across. Or you can go to the right, and that's where kind of the end of the numbers start. And there's also a middle range, so you can kind of start from the middle and build your way out. It's great. It's a great space. The venue is amazing. The lighting is incredible. There's tons of room so people can walk around. There's tables over on the side, so if you wanted to just sit and knit for a little bit or eat your snack, get off your feet, there's places for that. So it is a very nice venue. And so figure out what your first stop is and how you want to go. So that's always the first thing that I do is like, where do I want to start? I typically start to the right. And I think that's just because I'm right-handed, and that tends to be what right-handed people do is they kind of lean to the right. But my friend Kim, who's coming, she leans to the left because she's left-handed. So maybe we'll just go down the middle and kind of start working our way out. But I do it based on what is important for me to see or pick up before everything is gone, even though most of the time on Sundays, there's still things that most everything is still available. All right, so if there's merchandise that you want, it's too late now to order, but you should always pre-order merch if you want it. There will be merch available at the event too. So if you know that you want something and you nothing specific, you just want something with the cool logo on it, then that's a good reason to come in first and go to the merch table. And if you're in a team, a duo, maybe you break up and you go one to the merch table and one to somewhere else where you both know that you want to get something from that other exclusive table. So go in, get your merch. If you pre-ordered it, it'll be there for pickup, so you don't have to race over there. You can kind of avoid the crowds, because I mean, the line at Flock for the merch table at the very beginning of the event is extraordinary. 10 to 12 tends to be a little lighter because some people don't want to mask up, which is fine, and so they don't go in until noon. But be prepared for a line at the merch table. And then, so before you get there, you're also going to want to plan your transit strategy. So how are you going to get to Seattle? Seattle is a great city for public transportation. We have a light rail train line that goes north and south through Seattle, and we also have a new open train route that goes east to west, which is basically from the east side, the suburbs of Seattle, over the lake and into Seattle. And so there's a lot of options from that perspective. There's also some really great bus service. Bus service is really good in Seattle. And since I come from the Seattle east side, there is an express bus that takes maybe 35 minutes, drops me off a block or two from the convention center. And it's just smooth, easy, and fun. So Kim and I will be taking the bus in that day. So if you're on Sound Transit, say hey, say hi. If you see me anywhere, just say hi. A couple of people recognized me last year, and that was mind-blowing for me and like so exciting. So if you see me, please just say hi, introduce yourself, tell me who you are, where you're from. I'd love to see you. Okay, so back on track. So getting to Seattle, we've talked about the light rail, we've talked about the buses. Those are amazing ways. If you have to drive, obviously there's Uber and Lyft and all those other kind of the transit options. You can also drive, and there is parking around the convention center, but it's all paid parking. Don't expect to find any free parking anywhere. So I think it's Westlake. Is it Westlake Center or Park Place? Park Place is close by. It's within walking distance, and you can get a pretty good weekend deal for like $13 for the whole day. So that's a good deal. There's other places around. There's hotel parking. There is street lot parking. There's parking on the streets, but there will be nothing right around the convention center. So you're going to want to kind of stay blocks away if you're trying to find street parking. And most of that is 2 to 4 hour parking. So be prepared that you'll have to either move your car and go somewhere else or just leave after a couple hours. All right. So now you're there. You're early. You're ready. And prepare for lines. There will be lines to get in because even though you've pre-purchased your tickets, most people get there kind of like 9:30ish to get in by 10, and the line looks really, really long, and you're like, I'm never getting in this place. It looks like a Disneyland line that's like wrapped and wrapped and wrapped. But once they open the doors at just before 10 o'clock, that line goes so quickly, it'll be no problem at all. So don't be scared when you see the big line. And make sure you've had breakfast. It's just like before you take any test when you were in school and they said, all right, make sure you drink lots of water, get a good night's rest, and have some breakfast. So you show up ready and raring to do your very best. And so that is the same advice for a fiber festival or anything that you're gonna do a full day of. So eat your breakfast, drink your water, bring your water, and make sure you are rested. It's gonna make everything a lot more fun for you and for everybody around you, quite frankly. And as you're waiting outside, if you are like me and you are a morning beverage kind of person, you like your coffee or tea or your iced coffee, or you have a sparkling water, I'm not going to encourage energy drinks because those are very bad for you. So if you need to know why, you can go do some research on all those energy drinks and the poison that they're putting into your bodies. So that's just me being a mom and a teacher and saying those aren't great for you, but you make your own choices. All right, so morning beverage. Finish it before you walk in the doors. So once they have that line moving, you're up the escalators and you're going in really fairly quickly. So make sure you're drinking your drink because you want your hands free because you got to get to those exclusives right away. And what is a yarn festival, a fiber festival, if not for just touching and squeezing everything? So your hands want to be ready. Okay, so finish those bevies, finish them real fast, but get them early so you can enjoy. All right. And then, so this is a wise person's advice. Make a list of needs, things that you're gonna want to buy. Like say you have a plan for a sweater that's coming up and you know that you need to have 7 skeins of DK with at least 2,100 yards, whatever it might be. So make sure, boy, that would be a big sweater even for me. Maybe it's not that. But make sure you figure out what kinds of things you'll be working on and the things that you were hoping to leave flock with. So that way, when you leave, you can know if you've been successful or not. I know some people are like, I'm not gonna be buying much of anything this year because I am so overloaded in yarn, and that's okay too. So maybe you wanna find just some cute little trinkets or little tools that you can do, or you wanna just buy a t-shirt or a cute mug or whatever it might be. So make a list of what you need. And then when you walk away and you have a whole bunch of other things, you also have that one set of yarn that you needed for a specific project. And so that'll help you feel really good when you leave, like, oh, I got that sweater taken care of. And you don't have to do mail order. This is what I love about fiber festivals. I hate the fact that I have to pay to go in and shop. Like, I'm paying to go to a place where I have to pay some more. And I know the people who are vending there, they paid too. So paid. Capitalism at its finest. At least it's for a great community and people who love and support people with the money that they do make. And so, but I realized I pay 15, 20 bucks to get into this place, and like 100 different companies have come to one place to make my life more convenient, more fun, more colorful, and more cozy. And so that's kind of the perspective I take now with yarn festivals. I'm so thankful that an organization, and for Flock, it's La Mercerie, the shop that's over on Bainbridge Island up here. Jess from Flock is the one that has coordinated Flock. This is their 4th year. And so I'm glad she does this. And so now I can go to one place and find everything I need for all my projects. There's a bunch of exclusive colorways coming and I'm so excited. And that wouldn't be possible if we didn't have a fiber event. All right, so those are my tips before you go. Have your list of what you want/need. Make sure you are hydrated, you are well rested, you have your tickets, you know where you want to go first, you have a plan. Even if you're not a planner, kind of just a basic, am I going left or right idea? Because when you get to the doors, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, where do I go? Left or right, just pick it and go. All right, now, as you're getting there, you need to make sure you have brought a few things. So here's my list of what to bring. So water, and not like all the other kinds of things, the electrolytes and the this and that, pure water. We all need pure water to stay hydrated. So bring your water, bring a refillable cup or a bottle, preferably something that screws closed. So that way you can tuck it in your bag and it won't get in the way. It won't get in your way. You don't have to like hold it, which I always bring the wrong bottle and I'm always ended up like tucking it under my arm so it won't spill. Bring your water. bring your shopping bags, because a lot of the vendor in the state of Washington, we don't get to have free bags any longer when we're shopping. So I don't know what the event is going to be as far as requiring payment for bags, but usually it's 8 to 10 cents if you need a bag. A lot of times these events, they don't have that kind of restriction, so you can get bags, but don't plan that everybody will have bags. So bring your own shopping bags. And I'm actually going to pause for a second and I'll show you some of the bags that I bring to give you an idea. All right, I'm back. So here's some of the things that I do. And I actually will bring about 3 or 4 extra bags. So I bring a giant tote, something that's easy to carry, comfortable, like maybe either a backpack, a crossbody bag, something like that, that's not going to fatigue one side or the other as you're walking, because you want to take care of the body. I also bring just these foldable, reusable shopping bags. I'm sure most of us have a ton of these somewhere. Sometimes they were given away. Sometimes they're things that I bought for myself, like this one. I need to bring my Mickey Mouse because this is actually a bag and it's got a little hook on it too. So you can just hook it onto your bag and then put your good stuff inside there. So you'll see that with me. Then I have another one. This is a nice little fancy bagoo that I got last year at Flock. And this is the Spin Cycle Yarns art from last year. And so you got this as a free gift if you made a large enough purchase. And I know you'll be shocked, but I made a large enough purchase, so I got the free bag. But I do love these bags. They're really good quality and really strong. You can even bring paper bags from the grocery store that have handles on them. If that works for you and that's what you got, cool, use that. You don't have to do anything fancy. There is no fancy requirements here. The fiber community is an amazing group of people. We judge not, and we have a really good time. Here's another option. This is like a produce bag. You can even crochet one of these or knit one of these. Just a cute little produce bag that I bought, and it fits at least a project's full of yarn. So maybe you want to bring that, okay? So just some ideas of what you might want to bring, but do bring extra bags. And with the extra bags, it's a great idea to bring a carabiner, so one of those metal hooks that you can connect things to, like your belt loop or your body bag, your straps, whatever it might be. And so that way, as you're shopping and you've got a filled up tote, you put your carabiner on there and you click it to the outside of your other bag so your hands stay a little more free and usable. So carabiners, put that on your list. Obviously snacks. We need to not get hangry throughout the day, because there's gonna be a lot of people and some of us are gonna get overwhelmed and some of us are gonna get tired. Don't get hangry, bring snacks. And you all know what good snacks are. If you eat meat, bring like those really nice Chomps meat sticks or any other, the Slim Jim if that's how you roll, and fruit bars, other snack bars. We brought last year, I think I had some chocolate covered almonds and those were delicious. Chex Mix, anything that you can nosh on throughout the day is a great option. And cash and or credit or debit card, because you will need to pay for things. Some vendors will be accepting cash and card. Some vendors are probably at the point where they're only taking cards now, and it'll be rare that you find someone that only takes cash. Even the vendors there, I don't think the vendors will take, not the vendors, but like the food vendors and the outside people that come in to support the event, they probably are cashless completely. So make sure you have some sort of a debit or credit card so that you can buy snacks, food, water, things like that you find that you need. Hopefully you won't need to buy water, because you'll have brought your water and you'll be just fine. All right, credit card. Bring your whips, whatever you're working on, bring something, because you're gonna wanna sit down at one point, and it's always nice to keep your hands busy. And don't expect that you're going to cast something on or get something started while you're there. You might, and that would be cool. But sometimes that takes more brain power than many of us have when we're in large groups. So bring a whip, bring something that you can work on that's gonna be fairly simple for your brain to keep going on, so you can just sit and knit. And whether you're by yourself or with other people, it's always nice to have something to keep your hands busy. And you might wanna bring like a fan. So whether it's an electric fan, a neck fan, or a hand fan, or even one of those cooling towels you kind of get wet and put around, because you never know what the weather is gonna look like. It looks like it's gonna be pretty nice, like in the high 70s, which for us is spectacular summer weather. So you may get real lucky and have some spectacular summer weather. So outside, but that does tend to get hot when the sun is just right on you. We do have a lot of buildings and trees, but you may not be in the right place for those. So come prepared with a fan in case it gets too hot. And on the other point, bring layers because it might get cold. You might be inside sitting for a little bit and the air conditioning's on and it makes you cold. That's a great place to wear your knits or your makes. So if you have maybe a scarf or a shawl that you can bring just to layer, great. If you have maybe a sweater, a jumper that you want to just pull over and take off. So just something that you can layer. So layering is always kind of the right choice when you're not sure inside versus outside weather and you're going to be going in and out. So bring your layers. And finally, please pack your patience pants because there's a lot of people there. We all are going to the same place. We all want to do the same thing and we are all so excited to be there. And we're all going to be in the same place at the same time. So pack your patience pants, put them on, and just know I might have to wait sometimes, and that's okay, because you know what? I'm not more important than anybody else who's here. We're all important, and we all have goals, dreams, and desires, and we would like to get them fulfilled while we're here. All right, patience pants, always required. Okay, so that's my what to bring. What else would you suggest bringing? Put in the comments below if I missed something. What should you bring to either an indoor or an outdoor fiber event? What did I miss? All right, because I'm sure there's something I missed because I'm good enough, but I'm not perfect. All right, now you get to the event. Ready, set, go. All right, so obviously go straight to that merch line. We talked about that. Any exclusive items that you want to get, and I'll give you a list of exclusives for 2026 Flock at the end of our video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And mask up if it's between 10 and 12. So bring a mask. I know the COVID days are over, but people still get sick and some people's bodies and immune systems can't handle it. So Flock does a great job at respecting that. And so for the first 2 hours, you just need to mask up. Bring one of your old masks that you found laying around. If you don't have any, I know you can go to a pharmacy. They might even have some at the counter since they require it. But don't put the bulk of the need on them. Like bring your own stuff if you can. Or feel free to wait outside. Make sure that you're taking breaks throughout the day because it is tiring. Even if you've worn your best clothes, your best shoes, you're super hydrated, your body's gonna get a little fatigued from walking around, standing. It is carpeted, but it's not super padded. So you know that actually causes a little more fatigue in your body. So be prepared to sit. And if you can sit on the floor, awesome, cool, lean against a wall, sit on the floor, do a little knit and chat with somebody else. There's also, like I said, there's tables where you can sit and eat or you can sit and hang out with friends. There is a gorgeous staircase. It's like 3 stories high and you'll see a lot of people sitting on those stairs. So you can go out there and if you're lucky, you can grab one of the cushions that they have out there. But most of the time those are already taken, but beautiful place to sit, great views, and there'll be a lot of action out there. So feel free to go sit on those stairs as well to take your breaks. Obviously this is a maker event. So wear your makes. So wear a sweater, wear a tank top, wear a t-shirt. I know there's a few things that were like knit alongs for Flock. There was the Flock vest by Andrea Mowry, and then Not Brad Britt did the Copa, let's see what it was called. The Copa crop, which was super cute. And Sorry Nordland had her Show Your Colors tee. So there's gonna be a lot of people wearing their stuff. And so you may wanna either be part of the crowd or stand out. So like I'm gonna wear a ranunculus, and I know there's gonna be a billion other people wearing ranunculi because it's one of the most popular patterns in the world. And so just wear whatever you got. If you don't have any knit, if you don't have like a sweater or a t-shirt, wear a scarf or a shawl, wear a kerchief or a bandana. If you don't have that, put a cute little pom-pom on your bag. There's other ways that you can kind of, it's just really fun to accessorize and be unique and kind of, because it is, we show off our style with our makes. And so put something creative on. When you're there, there is going to be 2 food stations. And I have to say, they're okay. They're not amazing, they're not great, but they are inside. And so they're easily accessible. They also have a small food court outside that has like pierogi. There's a coffee place in the building. And then there's also some sit-down restaurants in the convention center. So those are all options. There's also, I know there's a dough zone right outside. So I've been there a few times. But do scope out the food so you kind of know what you're expecting. And if you get later in the day, expect that you'll be disappointed on what you want to get. So I know last year I went and I was really craving a pierogi, and by the time I got there, all the regular ones that I liked were gone. So I had to skip it. But just be ready, know where your food is. And there's a wine bar. So for those of you who like to have a little vino while you're walking around and enjoying your browsing, you can there's a wine bar there. You can use that for if you want to sit down for any of the flock talks and just enjoy a glass of wine with a friend. That's a great option. And finally, there's actually a quiet room for people who feel overwhelmed or have sensory issues and just need a place to calm, quiet, zen, and get out of all the hustle and bustle. They do have a quiet room on the 3rd floor. So they have that pre-prepared, and if you need to use it, please absolutely use it. If you just want to get away from the chaos, it's a great place to go. So enjoy that quiet room. All right, so you've gone there, you've been there for a little while. Oh my goodness, your shoulders are hurting so much from carrying those bags. Oh, they're so sore, but guess what? Get a massage. They have a massage. I'm assuming it's just chairs, like the lean over chairs, that are $2 a minute. So you can get a nice 10-minute massage for $20. And a 10-minute massage or even a 5-minute massage can really just revitalize you, wake you up, and get you ready. So bring a few extra bucks for that. You may want to enjoy your massage. They do have that. It'll be on the show floor. So something fun to look forward to. All right, and that's at booth 87. Those are my tips. Those are the things that you need to know. There are some fun happenings that typically happen at Flock, so I'm going to go through those too. So 3, what are the fun happenings at Flock? So they do have an optional harbor cruise. So Friday night they're hosting a harbor cruise, which it's beautiful here on the water. So if you have a chance and you've never been on the water here, go do that. It's really nice. And then Saturday night they have a meetup, basically like a meetup and craft at Stoop Brewery. And these things you do have to buy tickets for, so they're not included with your Flock price. And there's 9 different vendors who have worked together for a few years, and they do their own prize drawing. And so you have to visit 9 of those, all 9 of the vendors. You get your card stamped, and then you turn it in at the last booth, and then they contact you later. I know Cesium Fibers and Northwest Yarns and Mercantile are 2 of the vendors that are participating in that. So make sure you go to all 9 of those and then turn it in before you leave. And it's just a great fun way to kind of engage. And it also forces you to meet other companies that you may not have ever heard of or ever engaged with. So that's kind of a fun thing to look forward to. There will be Flock Talks, and so those are basically conversations with makers and designers, and so those are going to happen. There's a stage over to when you walk in, it's off to the right. There's a stage with the seating set up, and I mean you could sit there all day and just listen to makers talk, and they do kind of Q&As and interviews and stuff like that. All right, so those Flock Talks happen I know Andrew Mowry, she's always a hot ticket, so she'll be there for one of the events. And honestly, I haven't really looked at the list too closely because I'm going to kind of just go and see what I see when I get there. I know that I have a class on Sunday morning, so that's what I'm doing in the morning on Sunday. But other than that, I'm going to have my plan where I need to go visit. And then after I finish all the booths, then I'll sit, take a break, and then I get to be freewheeling and do what I like after that. All right, so they have the Flock Talks. There's also a designer table. So they're going to have different designers at a table throughout the weekend. And you can talk to them. You can ask them about their design process. You can look at some of their designs up close. If you're looking for a new make, or you just need some inspiration on like, what kinds of things can I make? Is there color, something that might kind of spark my creativity? The designer table is a really great place to go check out. And then there's also, so finally, there's going to be some meetups. So for all of those make-alongs that I mentioned before, so for Sorry Nordland, Andrew Mowry, and Not Bad Brit, all 3 of them will have meetups. And I'm sure some of your favorite podcasters will also have meetups. So you may want to be checking with them and seeing when they're going to be meeting up. Typically, it's going to be on Saturday because that's when most people are there. And it'll be a lot of times on the stairs and sometimes in the main lobby where the registration area is. But the stairs are just beautiful and they're great for a picture. So that will be, let's see, at 11:30 a.m. on Saturday. Not Bad Brit, if you made the Copa, the Copa crop V-neck, so cute. if you made that, show up at 11:30 so you can all get a group picture and see your hard work in action, and then compare notes. Look at all the different colors you see. And then at 12:30, Sari Nordlund will be there on the steps. And so Sari will be there for her show your colors tea. So for those of you who made the show your colors tea for Flock, there'll be a picture and a meetup for that at 12:30. Then at 1:30, Andrea Mowry has her Flock vest that many people were creating together. And so there'll be a photo opportunity for that at 1:30. So if you made anything so basically if you made something that you wanted to do from a make along and you want to be in a picture, wear or bring that on Saturday, because that's when all the pictures and the meetups will happen. All right, outside of Flock, there's a couple things that I've been doing to get ready. Flock Fiber Festival on Instagram has a great set of resources. So if you're coming from out of town and you want to check out other yarn stores, you want to look at the dining scene, you want to have great coffee, because we are known for having really good coffee and it's pretty much everywhere. Turnaround coffee shop, and there's some really good independent coffee shops around here. And so Flock has actually created all of these lists that you can find on their Instagram that tell you kind of like if you want to go yarn shops in the north, the east, the west, and down south. There's all the yarn shops that are local. Many of them won't be at Flock, and so it's a great opportunity to go actually see some of the stores. And we are very lucky that we have 25, 30 yarn and fabric stores in the area. So you might find something really amazing that you can't find at home. So for coffee, food, yarn shops, look at their Instagram. So Flock Fiber's Instagram has some really great tips and places you can go. It tells you how far away they are, what cities they're in. And so you can kind of plan, do I want to walk? Do I have a car? Do I want to take the bus? And maybe find some places you'd like to go eat leave for lunch and come back. Or if you want to do breakfast beforehand or dinner in the evening, there's a lot of great opportunities there. And then finally, I know on Friday, a lot of people will be going to Bainbridge Island. And so they flock to Bainbridge Island because La Mercerie is there, the store, and also the Lamb and Kid is there as well. And I mean, both of them have beautiful stores, they're so unique from each other, and it's really kind of cool to see them all so close to each other. So there's a ferry, take the ferry out to Bainbridge Island, grab some pizza, go to one of the restaurants. Ice cream's really good. They have a tea shop up there. So I mean, there's no shortage of wonderful foods. And so if you just grab the ferry, head over to Bainbridge, get your lunch, go to a couple of stores, and you will run into a lot of people, because a lot of people will be doing the exact same thing on Friday before Flock really gets into gear. On Friday, there are classes, so some people will be there, but there's no vendors open yet. So it's not open to the general population until Saturday morning. So go ahead to Bainbridge. Great place to go, great shops, and just a really cute island. So, and it's got a lot of interesting American history there. So feel free to dig into the history if you like that. And the nature obviously is out of this world. All right, so that is the Flock plan. Watch this video a couple times, make your plan, be ready, hit the ground running on Saturday. All right, and so now we're gonna shift gears. Flock exclusives. Now, this is as of Monday, July 27th. Yeah, July 27th. So this is the exclusive list that I've been able to find by digging into Instagram, and I've been doing it for about a month now. So I have a really extensive list, but I know there's going to be more than this. And I'm sure some of these other companies will have exclusive. They just don't advertise them until you get there. So here they are in no particular order based on what I did on Instagram. All right. So Heather Ellis Art, she has a beautiful colorway called Pike Place. Be prepared for that. Many of you know Jam PDX. They are a ceramics company, and they have a very cute mug. And I will put pictures of these things up here so you have an idea of what you're looking for and what your eyes should be trying to find. Botanical Yarns has a very cute a project bag and mini skein set colorway that's specifically for Flock. And 316 Dye Studio has a show colorway for fiber, and I am drooling. I'm really Tour de Fleece just wrapped up yesterday, and so I'm still on this fleece trend and wanting all of it. So that's 316 Dye Studio. And ZZ Textiles has a very cool colorway called Oil Slick that they'll be coming out with. And it's fiber and yarn. Viking Fiber Co., they have the flock sock colorway. So they have a really cool sock. I always like to pick up sock colorways that are exclusives because it's kind of a nice souvenir yarn, and it's easy to carry. So Viking's got their own that's coming. Terrapin Fiber Works has a color called Nootka Rose. And so those are beautiful. That'll be, I believe, on fiber, at least a bunch of different bases and possibly fiber. Maker Wool Co. has Find Your Flock as their exclusive colorway. And if you've paid attention to the flock, kind of their logoing, you'll see a lot of very vibrant purples, oranges, and pinks, because that's kind of the main colorways. And so a lot of the people who are making specific colorways have that kind of theme or thread. And so Maker Wool Co. has Find Your Flock, and I think that's a self-striping yarn. It's really cool looking. And Miss Babs will be there. They have a new show colorway that I don't have the name for yet. 22 Mile Studio has a gorgeous colorway called Sunset in Seattle, and it takes all of the blues, kind of the dusky colors, and brings those all together, and I'll show a picture of that. Bigfoot Yarn and Denim and Rain. So if you're familiar with either of those, yarn company and also a stitch marker company, Denim and Rain, they have a very cute otter collection. And so it's a little tiny otter stitch marker and a beautiful skein of yarn that goes with that kind of that color palette. So something to look for. So Lina Magazine, if you're familiar with Lina Magazine, they are actually going to be on site at the La Mercerie booth. So they're going to have their anniversary magazine there that you can purchase on site. So you won't have to pay for shipping and all that stuff. So that will be very, very cool. Kira Wiggins will be there, and I don't know what she's bringing, but I've been looking at her stuff from the past, and it looks like she's often got an exclusive colorway for events. So keep an eye on hers for both fiber and for yarn. And then let's see, La Mercerie has their own line of yarn called Ampersand Fibers, and they have flock colorways that'll be coming in. And so basically it's the beautiful purple, the yellow, and the orange. And the great thing is they have access to the actual Pantone colors and the color numbers. So those will be exact matches for the flock colors. So if you're looking for that, that will be a great place to go. And Ritual Dyes, I hope you have a show colorway coming, because every time I see your colorways, I buy them. So last year they had one that was kind of focused on the rhododendrons. So our state flower is the rhododendron, and so they had a beautiful colorway in rhododendron. And they also had one called Marionberry at Sacred Sheep. And so I'm hoping Ritual Dyes will have something exclusive for us. So head their way. They may have something wonderful. Nano Stitch Lab has beautiful Seattle in Bloom. They just have some very cool exclusive colorways that are coming. So Nano Stitch Lab is one to look for. Witchfire Fibers has a couple of specific collections. So they have a flock duo, which is like, it's called That Bitch and Iconic. So it's basically a really vibrant pink and then a purple that has some variegated speckling in it. So that's one collection. And then there's also Feminine Charm. So that's a pink with tweedy neps in it. And I know they'll have that in fiber. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Ocean Knits. I haven't seen an exclusive from them yet. I don't know if they'll have one, but I always love what Ocean Knits brings, or Ocean Knits. And so I was looking at the prep that she's doing to get ready for flock, and there's a lot of neon. So it's neons and neutrals, neons and like darks and whites. So I think you will not be disappointed if you go to Ocean Fibers. And then Dying Wishes Yarn. So that is a company that I'm not familiar with, but they have two colorways. One's called Intertwined and the other one is Flock Together. So be prepared to get there if you want to see that. And again, you should be seeing colors up here. Yarnaceous Fibers, they're often with the Doodle company. And so Doodle's Yarnaceous Yarns, and there's another company that often is all three of them together. they will have an exclusive, I think it's like a mini set called Peonies and Pikes. So it's based on the florals that you can find at Pike's Place Market, because they have beautiful flowers there. And then Katrinkles has a very cute Seattle stitch marker. And so it's a whole stitch marker set, and it's got the Space Needle and some other really cool things on there from Seattle. Denim and Rain is, again, I mentioned them before. She makes really cool resin stitch markers. And so she has stitch markers based on the flock colorways and the flock patterning. So that'll be there. I did also see, so many of you are familiar with the recent Seattle phenomenon of Jimothy, the raccoon, who has a spinal disorder. So his body is very short, his legs are a little short, but he's living his best life, and he's still with his family and his pack. So he's become kind of a symbol of, I feel like it's unity. And like, even though we have differences or there's something that seems not right about us, everything is right. It's all good. And Jimothy is just out there showing us that everybody can do anything. It's just a matter of how you approach it, and your result may vary. So there is a company that's making stitch markers for Jimothy, and so I'm going to see if I can find that, and I'll post it right here, and I'll put the name below. So that's the wrap up. That's the stuff you should be looking for at Flock this weekend. And if you have any questions or anything that I didn't mention, please feel free to ask questions below. And if you enjoy any of these, I would strongly encourage you to like and subscribe, especially share this with your friends. I meet a lot of people who are like, oh, I share this with my knitting friends. And I even have some friends out there, my friends, that have not yet subscribed. I won't call you out, but if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. You don't have to watch. Just click the subscribe button. That just makes me feel more popular, and we all know how I feel about being popular. I like to be liked. I'm sure you like to be liked. I don't need it, but I like it. So like, subscribe, share it with a friend, and I hope to see you at Flock. So if you see me running around wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, I mean, if I'm in a bathroom stall, you can like wait till I come out, but say hi. I'd love to see you. I'd love to meet new people. I know last year I met a few people. There was actually somebody from Mission Viejo, the city that I grew up in. And so that was incredibly cool. We got to actually talk about where I'm from and things like that. Andrea from Mission Viejo. If you're out there and you're coming, I hope to see you again. That was really fun. And then I saw Michelle from Florida and Sharon. I didn't find out where Sharon was from, but those were people that said hi to me. And so I would love to have new names to add to my list of people that I know and people that I enjoy. So say hi. All right, so if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And you know that you and I, we're gonna be best friends because you can hang out with me, and I love hanging out with you. All right, have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you soon.